According to the just released Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey, the state of the labor market is pretty stable. There are some mixed signals, especially in the last month or two, but it's not entering any kind of recession as we would define it, nor is it expanding as much as we might want it to be. I'm Lonnie Golden, Professor of Economics and Labor Human Resources at Penn State, Abington. The JOLTS survey, the Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey, has an aggregate number for separations, for hiring rates, and for job openings, but it also breaks it out by our major sectors in the economy. So, for instance, we're very interested in whether manufacturing, construction, healthcare, other federal government sectors have been expanding or contracting. What the JOLTS survey seems to show is some mixed signals. The job openings, the vacancies that are unfilled seem to be increasing, not only last month, but over the last year, as has been the hiring rate. So the speed at which employers are filling vacancies seems to have been picking up. Having said that, the job openings has been fluctuating. So it's up last month, but not necessarily up over the last year. Layoffs are ticking up a little bit, and separations are ticking up a little bit. That includes retirements going up over the last year. So we're getting these mixed signals. It's not necessarily a strong labor market. We could say it's still moving forward, still stuck in first gear as it has been over the last year. And that suggests that the upcoming employment report is going to be really important, because that will look at the overall employment rate and break it down by sector, as well as the unemployment rate. We do know that the unemployment rate has ticked up a little bit. It seems to have stabilized. So the risk of not finding a job, in part because of what the JOLTS survey is finding, that hiring is up for most sectors, not all. So the unemployment rate is not escalating upward. It's still 4.5% or so. Last year at this time, it was about 4%. So it's moving in the southern direction. The other takeaway is that wages are staying ahead of inflation, but by a smaller gap than had been. So those that have jobs might be experiencing some of the frustrations of inflation, but not so much that it's cutting into what they're able to buy in total. Most of the job growth over the last quarter, in fact, the last year, if we do a look back of the employment report, is that many of the jobs that are being created are coming from two specific sectors. Manufacturing has been flat, construction's been a little bit increasing, but up and down. But the healthcare sector, like it's been doing really for the last decade, has been responsible for much of the job growth. And that would include, if we expand it, the social assistance, it's mental health and counseling type of jobs. People will be paying attention to the fact that even though there are some job vacancies and there's a quicker rate of hiring where there are vacancies, at least in the last month or two, the employment level creation has slowed down dramatically since 2023. So we're not expecting record levels of new jobs being set. In the last March report, we did see an uptick in that, but that was following some decreases in employment. Finally, we should be also looking at the labor force participation trends. That's flying below the radar right now, but labor force participation rates have been moving in the downward direction in the last month. That is to say, people that are usually looking for work, trying to find work, have either given up or are going into retirement or doing other things with their time. So we'll be looking at the trends in employment, we'll be looking at the trends in unemployment, and we'll be looking at the trends in labor force participation.